here is my next video, and I actually turn on the light on my camera so it can see me better. Yeah, we'll leave that one on. This video will not be about what I just spoke about. If you want to know more about violent video games and how they're linked to violence, if you're ticklish, if you can tickle yourself, check out my last video. This video is about the Amazon rainforest, and it's bad. When I say bad, I mean really bad. And I will share a few links that I've been reading down below. And I'm sorry I can't retain all this information at once, but the Amazon rainforest has been on fire for just about a month now, and it's not been said, and then it finally got out about 2 weeks ago. And I've been wanting to talk about the subject in a video that I was planning on doing, not this Saturday, but actually the Saturday prior to that. But like I said in the other video, there's just been so much stuff going on, and I will keep y'all updated in the future from here on out. I apologize. But the rainforest has been on fire. The rainforest takes up a huge chunk of the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere to help us. It takes up quite a bit of pollution, and I'm trying to remember the actual figures, and it's kind of hard because most of this stuff like I said, I've read and watched over the past few weeks, and then I read a little bit more yesterday to try to retain a little bit of information, but the actual numbers is hard to remember. But I know it was quite a bit. It was in the billion tons of carbon that it's stored. And with it constantly burning, it's going to, sooner or later, it's going to just not be holding that in no more. It's just going to let it all out. And scientists have stated that if that happens, the war on climate change is over. And whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to believe what the president has stated or not, climate change is a real thing. And here's my outtake on it. The day we had the solar eclipse, back in 2018, where I live here in Arkansas, and in the town I lived in, we did not have a full solar eclipse. There was places around the planet that actually had a full solar eclipse. We didn't. We had a partial. And yes, I understand if you block out the sun, it's going to be cooler. But on that day, specifically, I didn't even have to wear sunglasses outside. I didn't have to wear a hat or anything. My eyes are really sensitive to light. I have to keep eye drops on me because my eyes dry out quite frequently. So I have to make sure my eyes are hydrated because they dry out a lot and they're very sensitive to light. Even with this light right now in my face, which I mean you can see how bright it is on my hand. It's bright, so even that kind of irritates my eyes. But I'll try to raise my head a little bit more so you can see my face a little better. It was so much cooler, and there was pretty much not really any humidity in there, so it was pleasant. It was perfect, in my opinion. If it was like that, I'm a guy that likes the winter and fall time because it's nice and cool. But if it was that temperature all day and all year, I could live with it. I've been happy. But climate change is a real thing, and it's happening. Whether we want to accept it or not, it's happening, and it's going to continue until people make a change. And I know a lot of us are stubborn in our own ways, even myself. And I'm not going to just tell y'all, okay, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, I'm still living my everyday life, but I'm trying to take a little bit more appropriate measures to try to help fight pollution to a point. I keep my plastic bottles. Don't get me wrong, after a while, yes, I do have to let them go. But I usually keep and collect my plastic bottles, and I refill them, and we use them for outside to stay hydrated, or I use them for work purposes. I think it's better than just wasting because it saves money, and it will also help save the planet. The rainforest is in dire need of our help, everyone. Due to deforestation and the planet getting hotter, it's gone out of hand. I didn't find the exact article that stated why it got on fire, and I mean I think that's partially to blame because no one's been wanting to cover the subject, but it's bad. And I seen someone put on Facebook, and the comments I was reading, it just ticked me off. The people that had done it had stated that it made up 20% of our oxygen, and they were trying to say this exact person, I cannot remember the name, which I'll try to find and put it down below, um, had stated otherwise, that it wasn't 20%. And then the creators that had put it, actually went and found the article by the exact same person that they called him out on and said, okay, well, here is the same article, and it doesn't state anything below that, whether it's 20% oxygen or 2% oxygen that it provides for us. That's not the point. The point is, this is a natural and national, in my opinion, sacred landmark, however you want to look at it. It is a sacred place because it has so many different species of insects and plant life. And it's stated, and even the the United States Health Organization, I believe is what they said, had some of the medicines that come from the plants in there, have they've been considered a high priority. I can't remember the exact wording for it, and I apologize. But, and they even stated that the scientists have maybe only discovered 5% of the entire plant life in there, and just about every one they found so far is used in medicine, and some of the critical ones are even used to help fight off cancer. Now, in my opinion, if that is the case, why are we not protecting it? I mean, that's a big one right there. If we are using plant life to help create the medicines that we need in our everyday lives to help fight off infection, and especially if it's cancer, that's a big one. Why are we not doing what we need to protect it? Yes, it has a lot of resources, but why should we keep taking from those resources, especially if it's going to cost us something that drastic? Because what are we going to do when we can't obtain the proper materials and the minerals, or whatever the case may be, and the resources to create the medicine that we need? Because we don't have the resources to create the medicine, people are going to eventually get sick, or the viruses will become stronger and stronger to the point the medicines we might be able to fabricate can't do anything, and we're just stuck there until it kills us. We need to make a change, whether it be a big change, whether it be a small change. We all need a change. One of the big things that irritated me was the United States backed out of the Paris Climate Agreement. And for the people that don't know what this is, the Paris Climate Agreement is an agreement on all countries that they will lower emissions. There are states, because I live here in the United States, I live in Arkansas, there were states that were so upset that our president, whether you like him or not, he's our president. I don't personally like him. I didn't like the other choice either, don't get me wrong. But either way, he's still my president. I have to stand by it. I don't have a choice. But he backed out of that, and I didn't like that. And there were states here that didn't like it either. And even though he backed out of the deal, they still were doing what they could to fight on producing so much pollution. And I am so proud that we have states and people here in this country that still stand by that. Climate change is real, whether people want to believe it or not. It's real, and the rainforest is in dire need of help, and we're not helping it. We're making it worse. I think, in my honest opinion, what we need to do, stop cutting down lumber straight up. Yeah, I understand we need lumber for a lot of our stuff in our everyday lives, but it is getting to the point. If we lose the rainforest, there will be so much more lost from it. Why should we take that risk? Because they even stated that the rainforest could actually grow back and save itself, even though we've been messing with it. All we'd have to do is leave it alone. Now, I'm not saying fully leave it alone. I mean, that would be for the best, but like I stated, there's a lot of plant life there that's used to make medicine. I say deforestation in the rainforest needs to stop. It doesn't need to continue. We don't need to be taking any more wood and all that. No more lumber. No more trees. It's time to stop. Because if we don't, we're going to regret it. And when we regret it, the only people we can blame, if we had a part of it, it's ourselves. Or if we could have done something to stop it, it's ourselves. We all live on this planet. And if we continue to destroy it, we're going to pay the consequences sooner or later. I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of my kids growing up in a place that's dying. And I don't want people to say, well, does it look like it's dead where you live? No. My trees are growing. My grass is growing. The plant life around me doesn't look like it's dying. But just where you live isn't the center of the world. It might be the center of your world because that's where you and your family live, but it is not the center of the world. It is not where the biggest issues. There's not people there, everyday reporters, reporting on what's going on in or around your house. That's not the case. That might be the center of your world, but the center of our world is the entire planet. And there's spots all over it that's suffering. It's time to stand up and make a change. First things first, we need to stop cutting down trees in the rainforest. Plain and simple. Because if we lose that, I don't know what could be said. Even Bill Nye did an episode how we're pretty much not worried about it and our planet is on fire. We feel it every day. It's getting hotter and hotter, and there's a reason why it's getting hotter and hotter. So we're not taking care of it. So what are y'all gonna do? I won't put it on you. I'm sorry. Let me say this. What are we gonna do to help save our planet? Are we just gonna continue with our ways and not care? Or are we gonna try to make a change? Like I said, I try to keep my plastic bottles to help cut back on our plastic intake of my household. Yes, one household doesn't cover the billions and billions or millions of people that live on this planet. But one person can make a change. All you gotta do is put that first foot forward. So, that's all I gotta say on this. And if you want to find out more, you can find it. You might not find all the information you're looking for, but you should be able to find something. And I'll try to post a couple links in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video.